So as you know, Hurricane Maria slammed into Puerto Rico, devastating the whole island, right? You know that because the corporate media, that's what they do. They do a good job of covering disaster porn. They are on it. They are in there, disaster porn 24/7. They love it.
Adjectives don't do justice to what Hurricane Maria did to Puerto Rico or to what is happening right now to the more than 3 million people who live there. But a few accurate ones are apocalyptic and devastating.
That is true. Puerto Rico is devastated. But what they won't tell you is this. It's because of Wall Street and corporate America and Congress. Puerto Rico is an American territory, right? It became a territory in 1898. We plundered the sugar from them. We turned them into a tax haven for our corporations, never allowing them to develop and build up an economy of their own. We then took that tax haven status away, took the corporate benefits away, leaving them with fucking nothing. It's colonialism 101. Just this year, they became the largest bankruptcy case ever in the American bond market history. 46% of Puerto Rico is below the poverty line, 11% unemployment. And this is all proof that austerity never works. Cutting back on all the resources a society is supposed to provide does not help an economy bounce back. So in order to deal with the financial collapse in Puerto Rico, the U.S. did the same thing that we did in Flint, Michigan. In Flint, Michigan, they replaced the actual elected officials with an emergency manager, an unelected official who then guts their society. Take away the democracy. That's why these cities and towns and colonies and territories are struggling. There's too much democracy. Now, we know how that ended up in Flint, Michigan, right? Flint switched the water supply, poisoning the city. Just this week, we found out Flint's fertility rates decreased by 12% among Flint women, while fetal death rates rose by 58%. 58% higher because of this lead poisoning. The same held true in Puerto Rico. The U.S. Congress mandated an unelected fiscal oversight board. Many Puerto Ricans refer to it as the junta that made all of the decisions for Puerto Rico's economy. Colonialism 101. But CNN won't mention any of that. They'll just talk about how tough Puerto Rico has it after this hurricane and how great the people are.
With textbook hospitality. Mucho gracias. She takes the time to make us coffee. A few miles up the road, more kindness and much more misery.
We don't show them the same kindness, right, that apparently they're showing us. Wall Street, via vulture funds, has gutted the Puerto Rican economy. They're literally called vulture funds. They circle poor countries and poor communities, and then they go down and rip the innards out. They gut every remaining dime out of the people. They force them to cut medical care and education and infrastructure, all the things you need if you're going to survive a natural disaster like a massive hurricane. Read Greg Palast's book called Vulture's Picnic. Now, he's not talking about Puerto Rico in that book. He's talking about mostly Africa, but the idea is the same. They buy up a country or territory's debts and then they rip it apart in order to collect the money that is now due to them. In one famous example, they took the money allotted for AIDS medication to the dying people in Africa. That was what they collected.
As an American, I wonder, how do Puerto Ricans feel about being American territory in times like this? Do you think America will come save you? Do you hope they will?
See.
I wouldn't look to us to help you. It's like looking to a fox to help the hen that has a broken leg. Going to the fox doctor to help the lame hen. America is the one that made sure their money went to American bondholders before doing things like building up their infrastructure and building up their society. We're the ones who made sure that their unemployment was this high. We helped create an economy where 46% are below the poverty line. Come on, Anderson, talk about the 1984 provision that says that Puerto Rico cannot declare bankruptcy. Everywhere else in the U.S., you can declare Chapter 9 bankruptcy when shit's really bad. This was passed in 1984, put in by Strom Thurmond, and no one can say why. And so this is why hedge funds, vulture funds, find Puerto Rico so attractive. They can't fucking declare bankruptcy. They can't do anything. They just have to sit there giving you money. And hedge funds love this shit. Hedge funds love chaos. It's good for them when shit goes bad for human beings. This is the catastrophic system that we've set up. So now that their society is destroyed by this hurricane even more than it was by the economic hurricane, what is America gonna do to help out our neighbors, our friends, the territory of Puerto Rico?
We're 1,000 miles from Miami. The only way to get aid in here is by boat or by plane.
We just can't get aid to them. It's funny how easy it is to get in there when we want to exploit them, when we want to take shit out, when we want to steal their sugar, pharmaceuticals. Until a decade ago, they made like all our pharmaceuticals, so much so that there was actually a town nicknamed the Town of Viagra, because all of our Viagra was made in that city in Puerto Rico. Because the corporate benefits that they were given were so high. But we can't get the aid, I don't know. Now that Puerto Rico isn't providing us hard-ons. So what have you done for me lately? You used to give me bonus. Now, nothing.
Large parts of the island, very difficult for reporters to get to, and certainly relief efforts.
Parts of the island are very difficult for reporters to get to, including parts of the island's history. Anything that happened more than a couple of weeks ago. The roads are all fucked. Can't access the part that shows that the U.S. Congress, Wall Street, fucking hedge funds, and the bond market are what destroyed this beautiful country of 3 million people and then left them there to have a hurricane decimate what was left of their infrastructure. Fuck you, CNN. Fuck you for acting like you give a shit about these people. You've got all the access and the fucking money and the time and the ability and you show up and you go, let's not tell them the full story. Let's not actually give people information in order to change our society for the better. Let's just act like this and climate change, ecological destruction, and imperialism. Let's act like the results of it just fell out of the sky yesterday. We had no idea where any of this came from. No idea as we see all the ramifications of the fucking disaster generation that we've created. This is your creation. You corporate media fucks. That's all I've got for you today. Get this story out there. As I've said before, Facebook and Google and YouTube have basically waged war on alternative media. So if this is going to get to people, it's going to be because you shared it with friends. Keep fighting.